Hey guys, second installment of our videos. Today we're going to work on 2.2 and 2.3, turning percents, fractions, and decimals and converting them into each other. You only have one vocabulary word, and that's percent. A percent is a ratio that compares a number to 100. All right, so when you see the percent sign, what does that mean? Well, percent means over 100. So it's actually taking that number that's a percent and putting it over 100 in a fraction. So it would look like this. Okay, and when I see this fraction line, the fraction line actually tells me to do what? Divide. All right, so that being said, when I have 55%, so let's say I want to take 55% and make it a fraction. Well, I know that this percent sign right here tells me to do over 100. So it's 55 over 100. And then I simplify. Let's erase that. Devotion alone, please. All right, so I need to simplify this because I know that I can make a smaller fraction. So 55, let's start with dividing by 5. 55 divided by 5 is 11. 100 divided by 5 is 20. 11 is a prime number, and it doesn't go into 20, so that's the smallest fraction that I can have. All right, let's try one more. How about 4%? All right, so if I have 4%, the percent sign tells me to put that over 100. Okay, and then I can make that a smaller fraction by dividing by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 100 divided by 2 is 50. Oh, I can make that one smaller too by dividing by 2 again. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 50 divided by 2 is 25. So just remember, it doesn't matter if it's a double-digit number here or a one-digit number, you put that number over 100, and that's how you change it to a fraction. All right, so now that I've changed a percent to a fraction, and that was pretty easy, I can also change a percent to a decimal, which is also pretty easy. All right, so to change a percent to a decimal, you got to remember that the percent means over 100. Oops. All right, so if I have 15%, that changes to 15 over 100, oops, which says 15 hundredths, right? And I know 15 hundredths looks like this. So most times, unless you have a single digit number, you just put the 0.15 like that. All right, so what do you do if you do have a single digit? Let's see, so I have 2% to a decimal. All right, if I have 2%, that tells me over 100, so it's 2 over 100. All right, and this says 2 hundredths. And 2 hundredths look like this, right? So I'm putting a 0 in front of 2, and then the decimal in front of that as well. All right, let's try one more. So I want 80% to a decimal. Well, 80% is 80 over 100. That says 80 hundredths, which is 0.80. Or 0.8, because remember, that's the same number. All right, and lastly, let's go from percents to fractions. Or vice versa, I'm sorry, we already did percents to fractions. Let's go fractions to percent, so let's go backwards. All right, so how do I put a fraction to a percent? Well, to put a fraction to a percent, I divide the numerator by the denominator. Oh, my Lanta. All right, so if I have 6/8, and I want to make that into a decimal or a percent, because we know how to do both of those now, I'm going to divide my numerator. So numerator is going to go in the house. That's going to be my dividend. It's going to be my divisor. So 6 is going to go in the house, 8 is going to go outside the house. Now obviously 8 can't go into 6, so we're probably going to need a decimal here. That's what we're trying to do, is get a percent or a decimal, right? So 8 goes into 6, 0 times. 8 times 0 is 0, sorry. Bring the 0 down for 60. 8 goes into 60. 6 times, nope, 7 times. 56. Springly needs to practice for 8 times 7. 0 minus 6. Can't do it. So we're going to borrow. 10 minus 6 is 4. I'm not done yet. I can add another 0 here. 8 goes into 40. 4 times. Oh, 5 times. Oh my goodness. It doesn't count because I caught my own mistake. All right. 8 goes into 40 5 times. 8 times 5 is 40. All right. So then my decimal is 0.75. My percent then would be 75%, right? So easy peasy. Let's do a couple together. I want 3/20ths as a percent and decimal. All right, so I have 3 over 20. So I'm going to divide 20 into 3, which doesn't happen, right? So I'm going to need a decimal. 20 goes into 3, 0 times. 20 times 0 is 0. Okay, 20 goes into 30, 1 time. 20 times 1 is 20. 3 minus 2, get another 0, bring it down. 20 goes into 100, 5 times. 20 times 5 is 100. So my decimal then is 0.15, which changes to 15%. All right, so let's do one more practice problem, just for the heck of it. All right, let's do 9/12 into a percent and fraction. Okay, so 9/12, I'm going to divide 12 into 9, which I can't do, so I'm going to go ahead and put my decimal there because I know I'm going to need it. 12 can go into 9, 0 times. 12 can go into 90, I believe 8 times. Let's see, 12 times 6 is 60, or 12 times 5 is 60. 12 times 6 is 72. 12 times 7 is 84, so it's 7 times. Okay, 12 times 7 is 84. 0 minus 4, can't do it. 10 minus 4 is 60, or 6. Bring my 0 down. 60, 12 goes into 60 5 times. 12 times 5 is 60. So 9/12 is also 75%. 0.75, which makes it 75%. Easy peasy. All right, so go ahead and do the knowledge check on Google Classroom as soon as you can so I can see if you guys are understanding what you're doing. And have a good rest of your night.